All right, this is a little follow-up. A couple days after the campaign began. This is the 8th Sunday of 2017, and we're looking at the Acer Swift 3 here. After considerably more time expended, the original incoming signal is now emerging from the modem here, the cable modem, into this rather old legacy switch that should have been thrown away some time ago, but I often don't do that. I set them aside, and lo and behold, it's been conscripted again, drafted into duty, and it's all coming from one of the four, we see that there, outgoing ports. So cable modem, outgoing ports, directly in, and now these four computers here, actually there are three. Something is missing. Well, we'll worry about that later. To this workstation here, which is where we have dedicated computers for different tasks. Banking is done here, or is it done here? This is the workstation of my lovely wife Sue and partner. Oh, there she goes, right there. Hi, Sue. Bye, Sue. And what we're going to do is just take a real quick look at the screen here without stabilizing this on a tripod. Let's do one live. So here we have testmy.net, which I use quite frequently. Let's watch the behavior, if we can get it to work, of course. Hello. Aha. All right, all this time, by the way, drain on TED, time, energy, and disposition. Let's just kind of watch what happens here. Well, it's apparently not going to duplicate what it did before, except stall here at 98%. Prior to this, of course, naturally it's making a liar out of me, because I had to go get the camera and get set up. I don't think so. Folks, we're paying for 60 gigabits per second. I don't mind, as I told the lovely gal Steffi on the telephone. Time Warner has called me, by the way, so apparently they meaning somebody of senior authority, has seen the clips that I already have up on YouTube. Here are a couple of earlier ones from just a few minutes ago. 19.6, 13.3, and then what we just witnessed. Let's do one more here live to see if I can replicate what I was noticing, which was multiple stalls. Well, now it's not going to stall, and we're probably going to get a decent read. So it has sped up completely. I won't say completely. So there's a somewhat scaled down example of what I'm referring to. Yesterday, all three of these machines, I don't know why we're not getting enough light here, 2 and 3, the Lenovo over here, which is a T400, which I'm not even dealing with today, but it's fast as well. And then another one here. This is another Lenovo, and this is where we do some graphics and our online courses that we're taking, all of which are completely hampered and basically reduced to roadkill by this ridiculously slow internet connection. So several tabs from earlier that I just set up here to save time. When I say earlier, I'm talking about the past few minutes, not an hour or so. So this one was, well, let's just take a look and see. Click the tab there, bro. So this is testmy. Very similar results. Equivalencies 13.9, nowhere near, and that I did just a few minutes ago. Read this, folks. 5%. Well, it's easier to read up here. screen. My master screen is reflecting this this Taylor Swift machine. And again, we're not even dealing with these because of the fact that this is absolutely sufficient, just these two. And the signal coming in is the same for all of them. So we have basically gigabit Ethernet coming in, and there are 3 drops from that switch that I was showing. That really should be enough. Let's do one more live one here. Oh, now DSL reports. This is interesting. This started showing up at about 4 a.m. when I woke myself up and came down just to check and see how things are doing, because this issue has gotten to be utterly absurd. Test history. Oh, this is a lot of fun too. Those of you who follow such things will be able to determine what's going on here. We're not getting anything near a sine wave or a straight line, which of course I wouldn't expect. But I also wouldn't expect this either at the price point that we're paying right now for bundled phone, internet, and cable TV. And we won't even get into the cable TV aspect. And by the way, there's no slowdown in throughput because we were able to watch an entire movie with no glitching, no aberrations, no anomalies over there on the big screen last night after having made these alterations. Okay, one more of these. Sorry about wandering. You know, being a cameraman and a narrator at the same time and a driver of the presentation is not the easiest thing to do. Sorry about that. You have to click a cable, or câble if you are European. I'm also going to introduce something called buffer bloat, which is something that only DSL reports / broadband reports will test. Google it if you don't know what that is, but it's the evidence is right here as to what's going on in the DSL, that is the DNS aspect of the situation. Now we finally have a return to what I was experiencing yesterday, which was equivalent results, definitely between 55 and 60, and sometimes even up to 70 and a couple of and some change. Compared to this is what you just saw with your very own eyeballs and heard with your very own earballs. Let's do one more. Test again. Bingo. And this time I will show the overall grading. DSL reports, yes, folks, gives you your semester grade. What I was noticing yesterday, and I was thinking that it might demonstrate for us, is we get these really high speeds, quite acceptable, and then it drops. Somehow, right at the end, something is going on in the Roadrunner system, which is what TW Cable uses. And you saw it again with your very own eyeballs and heard it with your very own earballs. This is just not right. What was I saying I was going to do? Let's go over here. Oh, and it's referring to buffer bloat. Overall, that's D. So on the FDCBA, there are times where I've gotten A+ over here where it says quality right here. Sorry for the moire pattern. The buffer bloat is always an F with a surround of red. I don't quite know why the speed has got a no reading in it. I suppose it's because it's an average. Not sure. See, that's very suspicious, gang. We were getting anywhere from 60 to 68. It might have even touched 70. I wasn't paying close attention. And all of a sudden at the end, we have this abrupt cliff. We just fell off into the Grand Canyon, guys. And ends up at 26.4. Now imagine what that is likely to do if you happen to be trying to do a lesson online, which we do frequently. Well, that's enough. This is just a follow-up. I'll process this and get it up on the YouTuber. And you folks can decide for yourself whether we're getting our money's worth. This has been going on for a long time. And I do have Time Warner on the horn now. They are calling in on the telephone to try to deal with this. And I'll be posting a recording of the last conversation, and perhaps a penultimate one as well. It will be long, and you will hear me going on and on and on and ranting and raving in a very pleasant way, because there are 2 or 3 people who are wonderful. The people they hire are just excellent, personality-wise, helpfulness-wise. Something is amiss, however, in the structure, the corporate hierarchy, and perhaps the business model. What do you think? Belva Doberman, out.